This
will be
conference will
recorded.
now be recorded.
All right, perfect. So today we're going to go through property updates. There's still a lot of behind the scenes work that's going on, and in order to get you guys updated, I just wanted to go through those properties more or less one by one and inform you where we're at. So who wants to read the mission statement today?
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
ECI Development offers affordable luxury residence and resort communities in Latin America, providing our clients with various premier lifestyle options from the Caribbean to the Pacific. ECI delivers inspired residences for adventurous souls.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Betsy. All right, so our agenda today, going through the marketing calendar, our event calendar, property updates, housekeeping, and then going through any questions that we didn't get to during the program here. So Shirley, why don't we get started with what's going on the marketing side?
Okay. I received the translation for the minimum requirements for the Nicaragua residency yesterday. So Val's taking that on to get it published in English. So we have that to just about get done now. The shareholders report is in the final writings. I've gotten all of the submissions now, so that should be well ready to go for the shareholders meeting at the end of the month. So that's working out well. Policies and procedures are still being compiled. The research on the comparison chart for real estate is still being done. Still getting around to doing that cover page and the chart for the Blues white paper, and the snapshot guide. I have a bit of a concern about running out of blog posts, so I kind of need to give an all hands on deck kind of thing.
Shirley, why don't you just, like we emailed, why don't you just take ideas, I mean, literally just copy and paste sections from the handbooks?
Yeah, I don't have enough time to write them though. That's the thing.
No, you don't have to write them. Literally just copy and paste them. I mean, and that's what our writing team can help that, but you just do chunks at a time, like even just one blog post on currency, right? And I think maybe it's okay, maybe currency and banking or something along those lines, but we can literally just copy and paste those, put a little intro, put a little footer at the end, but you can have the writing team help you do that, and that'll be, I don't know, I think 10-15 minutes per post to get that, or per blog, and then you could just get them posted.
Okay. The suggestion for the 15 must-dos in Argentina, I actually found a few things from escape artists that I was doing other things and just happened to come across it. So it's like, oh yeah, there's another one. Oh yeah, so I got about 4 or 5 of them now. So they're coming. So I can take some of that probably from other avenues too. That just happened to be something that I just started because it was there. So that's ongoing as well.
And then for for the 15 must-dos in Argentina, Betsy and I can definitely help with that. Austin has spent time in Argentina, so reach out to the team and see what they can help with for the 15 must-dos in Argentina.
Yep. Lobster Fest promo, I'm thinking I'm going to really want to start that next week, because that way if people want to actually book, they have some time before Lobster Fest to get that booked. So I'm going to just review Jamie's notes on that and just try to get that promo done, some graphics done on that, and then get that out next week. The CSR web pages are just about finished. I have another request of everybody for this one, because I just found that I'm spending so much time looking for like unique pictures that we haven't used before. We don't want to have the same pictures on the websites all the time, because I'm just noticing that a lot. And so I'm looking for other pictures to put on the web page, and some of them, like, they have the that DSC number on them, and they're just not very well organized. I think if you're going to take the time to take pictures and put them in Dropbox or send them to me or something, you've got to have something with them. You've got to rename them or something, because there's a whole bunch of them that I don't even know what they are. I have no idea what they are. I can guess because a couple of them have like dentists and stuff and people sitting in chairs, but I don't know when those events happened and things like that. So especially for the CSR, like we have to have dates and things and know when they occurred. Like I don't want to post a picture that was taken in 2008, you know, that kind of thing. So just a shout out for that. So that's been a little bit of an ordeal for me today, finding the pictures to give to Dina Carr to finish those web pages. The social media is being done in-house now, so everything that we have, excuse me, for so far for April is already scheduled. IPM did a great job on that, so I have probably till maybe mid-month to come up with a few more, and then we can just keep scheduling them in advance to make sure that we get them out when they're supposed to. So that's been a real godsend from their work before we stopped with them for now. An exciting thing, the ECBR website obviously will be coming down when Exotic Key Beach Resort no longer exists. So we've got a pop-up on there now. Yeah, sure, go ahead. That's great.
Get ready.
We've got a pop-up on there, and so there's some great deals, and I'm gonna do a social media push on that. Look at Kelly and Paul on the front page. So I think that, you know, like we can really try to get some good sales for ECBR. I know that, you know, the website doesn't necessarily always bring in the best results, but let's do this final push. And I do actually want to write a blog post on, you know, I mean, my heartfelt goodbye to the resort, because I have a lot of great memories there and stuff. So I get emotional thinking about it. But
that really would be great. And then we could post that up either on the Marriott website or on the ECI and really do a good campaign blast with that, you know, saying goodbye to Exotic Key Beach Resort from an islander or something along those lines. It's a really good idea.
Yeah. And then you have a fleet update, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, I'm updating the fleet packet. So I haven't done this yet, but we talked about it last week, was just adding a percentage increase when we start construction so people can see the value that they get when they do a pre-construction now. And I know we haven't done a campaign for this one, but I think in the very near future, surely this is one that we'll be doing the fleet. We're getting better with rental management and property management, so I feel comfortable at this point to start promoting the fleet building. And I think that it's going to be a fairly quick sale, quick in the terms of 6-8 months, because we do have entry price studios that really are geared towards the rental market. So just stay tuned for that, but wanted to let you know that we're still working on that packet.
Okay. The surf campaign for Grand Pacifica, I just have the last graphic to work on to get into that little document for the surfing. So I just got a blog post from Jamie today that's a great one for great places to go surfing in Nicaragua. So that's with getting sent to Dina Carr to upload tonight. So that'll kind of go right along with the campaign and then the real estate component that we're getting on there. Takes me a little bit longer to do the graphics than it did for IPM. So I'm still working on that, but haven't really got a chance to get to it yet. But that's another thing for like later today or tomorrow as well. Again, social media.
This is Patrick. Hey, Shirley, when is it going to be released? Because just curious, the timing for surfing is coming up here pretty soon. You're saying pretty soon?
Oh yeah. Well, I was actually not gonna post the surfing post until next week because we just did a blog post for Grand Pacifica today before I received that one from Jamie. We can have it uploaded and
the big surfing months in Nicaragua are July and August. So if we can get it out now and then maybe repeat it again in May and June and then work on that. Sorry, interrupt you.
Sure. No, that's okay. The campaign is like the surf campaign is already up. So like it's nothing that we have to take down or anything. Like we do have the special on for the surfing. It's just that Mike had wanted real estate component for surfers on that page as well. So that's just what I'm working on. So it's still there. Like the surfing package is still there on the site and everything too. So, and it does run until the end of December of 2019. So, you know, like we're still covered there. So there's nothing that we'll take down. We'll just change it a little bit when I get the graphic done.
But we're going to do an email campaign, right?
Yeah, we'll do that too. Yeah.
And that's for next week, or when did you say that was for?
Yeah. That's what I can get done for next week. Yeah. Yeah, again for social media, Grand Pacific is the same as Grand Marin. The volunteer promo, I sent it to Mike already. He said it was good, and then Patrick is just gonna. I've got it for him for review as well. So then we should have that.
Talk about that for a moment, Shirley, because I don't think most people know what that is.
Oh, well, we had a suggestion from a guy that he had said something about cruise ship people coming to visit Grand Pacifica, and then it kind of snowballed into like we should have another volunteer, like a volunteer vacation thing. I used to do that with the Red Cross here in San Pedro. It's volunteer vacations where people come down and they just volunteer for a week and they have their vacation and they stay at the resort and they do community service and stuff. So we started a promo on that, and we're going to synchronize it with the next wheelchair donation that Ruth usually coordinates. This will be the fourth one. So I've got that started, and we just have to get the graphics approved and stuff, and then we can get that promo going out. I have to just check with Ruth to find out the exact dates. She wasn't exactly sure of the dates that they were coming, but it's sometime the end of July. So we have still a little bit of time for that promo as well.
Okay, yeah, that's probably when we want to book sooner or do sooner rather than later, since people are booking their summer vacations. But yeah. We had something similar last year that we started to promote. Voluntourism is what we were calling it, the voluntourism. But it was exactly that. So as you get details of that, let us know. I know Angela has done quite a bit of work in this as well. So if you need anyone to bounce ideas off of, she's very good with that.
Okay. Yep. And then again, the CSR page, the pictures it was like some of the turtle pictures that I knew that I had made, website size and stuff, are not there now. I can't find them. So I was like, I'm looking for some pictures that I know that I've seen before. So that's been, again, a little bit of thorn on my side. The website review from Marriott still pending. Yeah, we're still waiting for the I think I saw something come back from the lady that Carolyn was sending the reviews to, and she said she thought she wanted to have it done by last Friday or Friday before, and then she said we'd do it today, and it just never came back. So at least I never got anything. So we're still waiting on that. Should I be messaging them now, Rachel, or what?
Yeah,
do any kind of.
If you're in the loop, if not, I'll just send Diana a message and see what's going on. But I did see the last one that said she wanted to have it done by last week.
Yeah. Do you want to do that, or do you want me to take that on?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll send Diana a message.
Okay, perfect. Because I have just been so far away from that. It was just like I was only CC'd on the emails just to kind of know what's going on, but I don't really know them or anything. So great. And the Nicaragua Hardwoods Unlimited changing to Legacy Teak is being rewritten now. So we're just waiting for the text on that, and then I'll put the graphics together with it and make it pretty again. And that's what we have so far. I'll send the whole sheet out that had like some due dates and things on it as soon as we're finished the meeting as well.
Perfect. All right, Austin, Fredman, why don't you guys fill us in about what's going on with the affiliate program?
Hey, this is Fredman. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit, but let's see how it goes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Austin, why don't you step in? I know Fredman is driving.
We just couldn't hear anybody for the past like 30 seconds. So did we just move to the affiliate program?
Yes. Yeah, we're on the affiliate program.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, everybody can hear me, right? I'm guessing so if you can.
Yes.
On my end, really just been promoting the trade mission the past few days and getting the handbook done. Gotten a lot of inquiries for the trade mission and a lot of people saying that they're definitely interested if they can't make this one to make the ones coming later in the year. So pretty excited about that. I think we got more interested in the last one, and it seems like having that due diligence and proven concept of last one's really helping us out with marketing this one, and I think it's going to work out well. We've been getting a lot of interest in the webinar, a lot of people asking about it and getting a lot of new affiliates signed up. So just getting ready for that. And then from the technical side, I don't really know if there's anything Fred we want to add, but yeah, other than getting the handbook finished up and getting that sent out, it's really been a pretty smooth week.
And explain what the handbook is, Austin.
So it's going to be more of a general document for affiliates to refer to answer a lot of their questions and provide them collateral, give them, let them see their options on a more general scale as opposed to the resource library, which is really dense with all sorts of information that's doesn't even pertain to the affiliate program. So, they can see banners and the landing and, the landing pages that are available for the handbooks and everything like that. So they can see examples of everything. And then it just has a really good FAQ sections that answer basic questions that people are going to be asking, whether it's about healthcare or just owning generally overseas. It answers those questions for them because of course our clients are going to be asking those questions. So it's just kind of a resource document that's going to I think really help out affiliates and give them a good reference tool. So
awesome. And when we have that done, why don't you send it out to the Smarketing team so that they can go through it? It's good information, I think, for everybody to know and for them to know what you're up to. And why don't you quickly talk about the MLS information for a moment and what you're doing there?
Yeah, so we just essentially got some listing information put on a spreadsheet for affiliates, or really generally anybody that anybody know you think it would be useful for if they can generate leads from it. It has multiple properties, Hacienda, Marriott, and the Fleet building on it so far. The tiny homes are on there, but we just have pending since we're still waiting to get everything done with those. But yeah, it just provides all the information that realtors would need or real estate agents to list properties. So it's good information, and it's been sent out to a few affiliates that put it on their page and have listed some properties. So we'll see how it goes.
Perfect. And the reason that that's really good for you guys to know is because that's going to expand our reach quite a bit. There are a few different companies that we're working with that have MLS access, and what they're doing is listing our properties. Realty Hive is a really good example of one. I know there's, I don't remember the name of the one, Austin, with Raul. I think his name was Raul. Well, regardless, we'll look at that one. But we're getting a lot more access to realtors' MLS systems and the way that they market their materials. So this is good. This will really expand our reach and help us to be marketed in places that we haven't been marketed before. And I saw, Fredman, you were muting and unmuting, so you're up.
I was trying to speak a little bit about, well, currently this week we just sent to the active agents the second social media campaign that is to promote the webinar from ECI about the different lifestyles and opportunities of real estate out of the US and Canada. So we have like 15 people so far, 15 new leads that came from the agents that registered for the webinar so far. But it's drawing a lot of attention, and we have finally found a lot of agents that they are actually now owning all the information and all the different marketing pieces that we bring to them. They are starting to tailor their own social media posts based on what we send to them. They are also asking for different ways to use those pieces of marketing, like in YouTube, like other type of social media, like Pinterest, and it's kind of working really well. They are also using their tracking links in social media comments, not just in like actually social media posts. So they are getting very excited. We start getting more leads every week. Last week we get a record break of campaigns used by active agents. So we are really picking up on their. We will provide them the first email campaign this week, but we will suggest them to use that campaign on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, we will have the monthly webinar with them. This time will be just a continuation of this current campaign that is a bi-monthly campaign first time. So we are drawing a lot of excitement. I wanted to ask all of you, we will provide to you the list of most active agents, and we will request you to start following their social media fan pages. So every time you see that they post something about ECI, go and like the post, or put a comment in their social media post, because this will increase the opportunity of exposure from them. That's kind of pretty much my end.
Yes. Yeah, this is good. And I just pulled up Deborah Allen, who is one of our affiliates who is here in Belize. And you can obviously see her there on our porch. And she put this video out as a way to promote her as a global agent, promote ECI development. So you can see that this is really starting to work, and this program is starting to grab hold of what we really envisioned it to do. So nicely done, Fredman and Austin. And then the other thing I'm going to mention is, if you don't yet like the Global Affiliate page, please like them on Facebook. Fredman and Austin are doing a great job at keeping the page active, and Fredman just released a video here that he made to promote the new logo that was created for the Global Affiliate program. So like the page, share it with your friends. If you have any specific friends who are real estate agents or investment bankers or financial advisors, whatever it may be, invite them to like this page, because there's definitely a lot here for them to learn and a lot of value that we can offer to them. So nicely done there with that. All right, anybody, Shirley, Austin, Fredman, do you have anything else you want to add on the marketing side? Or Patrick, I know you've been doing some on the marketing side as well.
I think I'm good.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, it just takes me a while to unmute. I'm just going to add myself or start liking the global affiliate page, because I don't think I did. So one thing I might want to do is send invites out to. Yeah. Oh, did I? There you go. So that's how full my brain is with stuff. But yeah, so looks good. Just seeing it on your screen there, it looks great.
Yeah, it's looking really good. So we're excited about this. And the one other thing I want to add is that I know we don't really talk about Yaka's department at all with database management, but she's been doing a really great job at reaching out to people, specifically shareholders and property owners who have either unsubscribed to our emails or marked us as spam at some point and are not receiving the emails. So she's reached out to them directly, re-enrolling them, resubscribing them, so that they can tell us they didn't get the email. So thank you, Yaka, for taking the time to do that. It'll help clean up our database.
You're welcome.
So calendar. So Wendy Cohen arrives today. She's one of our referral agents. She's staying at Exotic Key Beach Resort. She brought 6 friends with her. One of them's a marketing guru who's going to be marketing some of our properties for us. These ladies are participating in the half marathon, and they got ECI shirts that they're going to be wearing. The half marathon is this Saturday. So if anybody's up early and here in Belize, watch them, cheer them on in the race. I'll be out of Belize for the next little bit, so just a heads up there. Mike is going to be in Belgrade. That's a realtor event. He got invited to speak. I have an e-meeting with Buddy Sope and his group of real estate agents and clients interested in Belize. We have the Portugal conference in middle of April. Betsy's going to be out of Belize from April 21st to the 8th. So this is the webinar that Fredman was talking about, April 23rd, which is a general global property webinar. And Fredman, I know you sent it to me, but maybe just send it to the whole Smarketing group, the link that you've created for this and the marketing that you've created, because anybody can promote it really quite easily. And if anybody in our company wants a specific link so that you can track any of the inquiries that are coming in, just ask Fredman and Austin to create that for you, and they can get that pretty easily. We have the shareholders meeting at the end of this month, and then the Belize trade mission. This is what Austin was talking about earlier. We just sent out an email promo for it. So it'll be the 26th to 29th here in Belize. May 10th, we're going to do a taste of the key. We have to start marketing that. But I know Austin has started to reach out to restaurants to get them to come. And then we have a realtor meeting in DC. We're not setting up a booth there or anything. Mike's going to go mingle around, go to the CIPS dinner. But at this point, we're doing really, really well with our global affiliate program and not necessarily looking to enroll new agents right now, since we do have quite a few in the database who need to hear from us. So that's what's going on over the next few weeks. Anybody have anything else that perhaps I didn't add on here?
Hey, one very small comment on the Facebook Global Affiliate Program. Mm-hmm. The graphic, the photo for the background doesn't fit if you're looking at it on a phone. So we might want to just, it's a very small thing, but we might want to just reset that. What's the photo called when you first bring it up? Not the background.
The cover photo.
The cover photo.
Yeah, that's an old one, but we don't want it to launch the cover this week because we just launched the new logo. So we have that like a big deal for next week. Thank you, Patrick. But yeah, we have all in that.
And the writing across there gets cut off because it's too like the aspect ratio is too wide for the height. So it's just even if you use the same photo, it just needs a little cropping.
I will.
No, it's not the same photo. It's a new one stuff there.
I'm saying whatever the existing one needs correcting, but whatever. I'm just mentioning. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
That's all.
So I'm glad that we have you on as a guest visitor today, Patrick, because we can have you update a little bit more on the Marriott timeframe. And as everybody can see there and saw in the group message yesterday, we officially got the pier permit for the Marriott. So I was speaking to Joe a little bit about timelines, and it sounds as if after Easter is when we're looking to start on the pier. Maybe, Patrick, if you could just talk a little bit more about what you see that timeframe looking like, and we won't hold you to it or anything along those lines, but at least so our team is updated.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously I get asked this question a great deal, and this is a huge project. Let's just be starting, back up to 30,000 feet. But, this is a 202 room, the largest hotel single building that will be in the country. Lots of permitting, lots of Department of Environment, compliance issues that we have to deal with, all sorts of things that are going on. Obviously, the design of the building, the design of the restaurant, the casino, all sorts of things, right down to what kind of doorknob you're going to use and where the generator venting is going to go out. So there's a lot of tons of stuff. And so, it certainly has taken a lot longer. And we really are kind of at the 11th hour of getting everything together. And, we have lenders involved in the project, so we're not funding this solely by ourselves. And there's a important, they had a site visit about a week and a half ago, and they were very impressed. And we're kind of crossing the T's and dotting the I's on the final stages of that as well. And then once that's done, all the funds go into one spot, and we start construction, and deconstruction first. The plan with the pier is, obviously we're waiting a little bit on some of the quotes for, the materials and labor and thing for building the pier. But the pier needs to be built before we can move Crazy Canucks onto it. And we have to obviously get that done before we can demolish Crazy Canucks or most of the other buildings. So we are a little bit, behind schedule, as you can tell. But at any moment now, when we finalize the last bit of the funding and the various other minor things, now that we have the pier permit, the pier is a license that we actually got that gives us the right to put a pier over top of the water. There's still the MEP, which is the it's basically the power and water usage and predicting what the hotel will use in terms of power and water and the other utilities from the city, sewage as well. And that's the last piece of the puzzle. Kind of, we sort of, at this point, we have federal Belize permission to build the hotel and the pier. And the last piece of the puzzle is we get the building authority here in San Pedro to give us the final stamps on everything. And that requires the utilities, the prediction basically of what usage will be in the utilities. And we're waiting on that from consultants who do that. And once they give us that in the next, hopefully, days or no more than a week or two, then that goes to the town, and the town gives us, hopefully the green light to go ahead with the permit. So it's kind of, there's a lot of series of steps to get to where we're going, and we're basically at the 11th hour with most of them. So once we have that, then we can physically begin to build the pier. And obviously the pier is going to probably take 2 or 3 months, likely to complete at least. And then, we'd be moving Crazy Canucks onto it and demolishing. So, we're going to probably take it day by day in terms of renting out ECBR over the next few months. But, we're probably looking at still more of a time frame around August when we would be doing construction, although there may be some overlap. We may start putting in, foundational items for the hotel at the same time on the far north side of the property, moving the blue casita and all the things that need to be done before we, tear down the final buildings on the property. But it's all being looked at, and it's kind of, dominoes. When we get one thing done, the next thing starts. So it's hard to really give you a date, but because some of it's out of our control in terms of the final stamps on the permitting, but that's kind of the general 30,000 foot view of it.
Perfect, thank you. And that segues us into the Belize tiny homes and Argentina tiny homes. And Patrick, you're probably the closest one to that at this point as well. Would you be able to give us, actually for these next couple points, so I'm glad you decided to join us today.
Looks like my to-do list for today, honestly.
Well, that's why I put your picture there on the screen.
The Argentina tiny homes were, both are sort of in the same situation. Both Belize and Argentina are waiting for permitting, a little bit different in each country, but Argentina is, waiting so that we can actually do that size of density of community on the property we have there. And we expect to get, in both countries, we expect to get the permission to do so. In Belize, it's a little bit more complicated because what we're proposing right now is over the water units, and although it's, it's kind of a, it's kind of land that's underwater. I mean, the parcels of land that we're building on exist as
I think we might have lost him for a moment.
I thought the power went out again for a second there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't hear anything at this point. Oh, he might be back. Okay, well, I think everybody got the general gist of where that was going. I know affiliate team, we've put promotions of the tiny home in Belize just on pause until we get those final approvals with the town, because we don't want to cause any controversy or stir up any controversy here on the island, as we did see that with Tony Smith. The next point here is Hacienda. So we mentioned to you all that the condos are being rented. Jamie mentioned to us on the earlier call that the Hacienda condos are 100% rented for the month of April. Jamie, I know you sent this to me, but I don't remember if we had an ADR when it came to the occupant and the occupancy. I saw occupancy, but I didn't see ADR for Hacienda. If you can just send that over again, if you did send it. But Shirley, or not Shirley, Angela, I saw that you have been sending out emails about this, and I think that that's great as we promote this property for sale.
Hey Rachel, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you are.
Sorry, somebody else called in the middle of this, and then it just went sideways.
No
Sorry, I'm not a lot more than that to say on Belize and Argentina tiny homes, other than we're kind of at a point where we're waiting for the permission and permitting to do those as well.
Perfect. And then Hacienda, we've been promoting it internally within our sales team to people who've shown interest in 2 bedrooms. So we haven't done a mass campaign for it. I know that not a fan of promoting something if we don't have everything ready yet. So last, Patrick, we chatted, you were just going through the HOA with the current HOA president and revamping their HOA documents, since what they had was 1 page of very general information. So this will at least be a lot more thorough and will include information that homeowners will want to know that they're signing off on. Anything more, Patrick, to add about Hacienda?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get too hung up on the HOA at Hacienda. I mean, I agree with you. We don't want to sell things that aren't ready, but this is really, there is a formal, well, bad choice of words. There's an informal but official HOA for the Hacienda units or building. As you mentioned, it's a bit Mickey Mouse. It's like 1 pager run by 1 person, but they did all the right things in terms of forming an HOA. So it's a real HOA in Belize. The part now that I'm trying to do is, we've created, and I saw your notes on it. I haven't had a chance to incorporate them yet, but we've created a new HOA, rules and regulations document that's more, much more normal, official. And I'm supposed to be meeting with the existing president of the HOA next week. And I'd like, then we're going to have a, formal meeting and involve secretary, treasurer, and all these, elect all these officials into the HOA. So I guess from a sales marketing standpoint, there is an HOA, you don't have to be afraid of it. It's been there for years. It's being drastically improved to handle a lot of, things that it didn't before, and being fair to all the unit owners. So it's a good story. It's really going from an HOA that was kind of, created on the fly as required, to a much more formal HOA that will be a better management of the building, which means, ultimately we'll get the pool functional and the railings fixed, the building painted, and all the things that an HOA should be doing.
Right. So maybe in terms of marketing, how we look at Hacienda, it's, 179.9 as is essentially, but you're helping us to create an HOA. And once that HOA is up and running and the building is painted and these improvements are made, then the prices go up to, I don't know, 199 or something along those lines. But
Exactly.
I think that's a good marketing ploy.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And, people get an opportunity right now of, they can be a little patient for the next few months of that, those things being done. Anybody with some vision can, full disclosure, I bought one of the units, right? I went in there and saw a lot of potential. The fact that it's got a dock on the canal and things like that is a great draw for some people that like boating. So it's got a lot going for it. It's a good price as it is right now, and it'll definitely be going up once those other amenities are done.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the next one I have here in Nicaragua, it's more of just a country update, what's going on with their residency program. So there's been an increase in the minimum requirements for 2 of their residency programs. The Pensionado residency, I think it went from $750, it's now $1,000 per month. So people who are in Nicaragua under the Pensionado need to show that they have $1,000 coming in per month. And then the rentista, which is somebody who's living in the country and has income coming from outside the country, generating income from outside the country, the minimum they need to show per month is $1,250. So this is important to know for people who are talking. I know, Angela, you've been talking to quite a few people about Nicaragua, and if they are looking at residency, this is something important for them to know.
Hey, just on that point too, there's one missing there, which I noticed in the email where you got this from, was there's the investor resident, which is what I am in Nicaragua. And at the last I knew of it, it was $35,000 minimum investment. And
30. Yeah.
It was 30 and it moved to 35. And
I'll see if I can get who did it for me, Daniel, to pull that out of it too, because there was just the one thing that the one page that Valerie had mentioned, and so when I asked Daniel to do the translation, I had put that on there, and I remember that you had said that too, Patrick, but I guess that just got missed when they did the translation. So I'll ask Daniel if he could find that part of it too and get that translated as well.
Well, yeah, it may have been missed as well, because that one may not have changed. It may still be 35 or whatever the number is, and the email only listed the ones that had changes to them. But it's worth noting that, you know, it's not an enormous amount of money for somebody that wants to come in and buy a home, for an example, or something in Nicaragua. They pretty much immediately hit their minimum limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was 30, which is why we packaged some of our Nicaragua teak, just the half-hectare parcel right above 30. So it did go up $5,000. So thank you for that. Okay, and then Grand Pacifica, we talked about this in our last meeting, but we have that one condo left in Las Perlas Oceanfront Village. It's a really, really nice unit, first floor corner unit. So there's quite a big patio space, enough space for a hammock, and views from two sides of the condos. So I think that one is a steal, and we can go through that again, $129,000. We do offer 50% financing for it, and it is under construction. And let's just say, Patrick, timeline 6 months until that building is complete.
6 to 8 probably is a rough guess. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so that's great. Gives us some time to see how the economy is doing as well. I think it's going to get better. I know a lot of people think it's going to get better. We've been seeing quite some traffic at Grand Pacifica. And Gio, are you still on? Yeah, Gio, you're still on the line here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on in terms of tourism at Grand Pacifica?
Well, we continue receiving a lot of people from embassies. Actually, we receive about 70 new ambassadors, and we were able to get into that, group and start inviting, like many of the embassies, which they have actually responded in a very positive way. So we have been receiving a lot of business from embassies, which is where the money is. So, thanks God, they're supporting what we're actually doing. We're actually working a couple groups right now, mainly people who actually wants to come to Grand Pacifica for Semana Santa. So so far so good. We're looking good for Semana Santa, to be very honest with you. And then suddenly, like every year, people wants to get married, and it has been a little bit of I would say, like, many phone calls. People who wants to actually, I'm working actually 3 different weddings right now. Mainly about, each wedding is about like 90 to 100 people. So hopefully we're gonna be able to put together, at least 1, 2, or 3, or maybe, more weddings before the end of the year, which we really need. One wedding, funny enough, is in rainy season. They don't care. It's gonna be in July, and I'm trying to actually just give the last prices and see if we can actually keep those people, at Grand Pacifica. Other than that, Rachel, I just want to actually throw a couple of things. One is the phone number in our in a 49. We really need to do something with that. I actually met a very important group from Costa Atlantica of Nicaragua, very wealthy people, to be honest with you. They were actually driving by. They stopped because they actually saw the name of Grand Pacifica, and it's just happened that I'm a very good friend with the owner of the Hotel Arenas, actually in La Costa Atlantica, and they have actually talked about, you know, Grand Pacifica, and they have actually stayed with us before, and they ended up actually calling Cam instead of us. The sad part is that I couldn't do nothing, you know, like to give them a better price, you know, more than just offering like few couple drinks, you know, and make them feel, you know, good about it and all that. I gave them my phone number, and I was able to recuperate, you know, at least those customer, you know, like I said before, very wealthy people, which they took a tour of Grand Pacifica with me and all that. But if we can fix that as soon as possible and put our, you know.
Hey, Gio, this is Patrick. Let's just get the R number put over top of the existing number
Yeah,
that's
the
on
sticker.
any
We
sign.
talked about this last week. So I don't remember who was gonna, I think it was Alejandro who was coordinating a sticker.
Well, it shouldn't take very long to put one on. But, you know, further to that, Gio, just being there last week, I noticed that that kilometer 49 sign is basically, the wind has really torn pieces of it off.
Yes, it's getting really, it's getting beat up big time because the wind that I was actually talking to Patrick about this. The wind this year has been something, I don't know. I have never seen this type of force. And you know, I mean, the wind has been just crazy, 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 crazy. So I think the sign needs to be between you and I. It needs to be redone because it's being taken apart. You know, because the force of the wind.
Well, we have all the graphics for it and it still looks good. Let's just change the phone number on it and redo the sign. That shouldn't be too expensive. But two things I would say immediately: just get a sticker put over top of the phone number, and secondly, let's replace that whole sign. The one at about kilometer 30 at the turnoff in Los Cedros is gone completely. That whole billboard's just disappeared. So I don't know what we can do with that. But if somebody can get me the costs, and you know, I can look at it and sign off on that. But let's get that done because we don't want to keep turning customers to other people with our sign.
Yeah, and we talked about that last week, and I think Alejandro was the one who was going to get a quote for the sticker and the new sign. So we'll just, Shirley, if you don't mind, just following up with him and doing that, and then also seeing where that billboard is.
Okay.
And just changing the phone number. And you have the new phone number, right?
Yeah, I had to get it changed on the website too. So Dina's been working on that as well.
Yeah, perfect.
And the other thing, just before I'm going to have to go off with a phone call all of a sudden. So the other thing here, Gio, is a lot of, you know, this goes for all of us on every possible division of this company, but communication is extremely key. And I'm only learning about, you know, things like, you know, the ambassadors or whatever staying at the property and those sorts of things. It's really important that we communicate with the owner, and this is kind of an internal marketing thing with the owners of the units, which I'm one of, but I mean, there's others too. And it's really important that we continue to resell ourselves to them because, you know, they don't know that we're doing this and that's what's happening, or weddings and things like that. They probably have no idea. So I know you did an update, Gio, a few weeks ago, but I think it's probably worthwhile doing another one. And even if they're short 2-paragraph things, just saying, hey, just wanted to let you know, we've had a pretty good month. We're going to be sold out to Semana Santa. We've got different embassy people coming, and we've got blah, 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 weddings, all that sort of stuff. Let's just keep a regular stream out. We try to do that in the Belize properties, and we need to do that in Nicaragua as well.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. Hey, my last suggestion, I hope you don't mind. Maybe I'm a very unique case. Maybe I'm a unique case because I do a lot of, work when it comes to corporate, social, and events and all those things. But it's crazy the amount of emails that I actually receive. And I'm asking you for a favor. I for whatever reason, we have the tendency to reply all, and honestly, I ended up like reading things that I'm like going like, why? I mean, I don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't have nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? And then I spend a lot of time reading things non-related, at least to me. So I just ask you for a favor. Before we reply all, let's make sure that the people that we are there, we have something to do with the conversation, because otherwise I ended up reading, I'm telling you, at least like 40 emails non-related to me that comes from different things that I'm involved with. You know what I'm saying? And people seems to actually do that reply all, and they don't realize there is a bunch of people there that have nothing to do with a new conversation or something that people are just getting into. So I'm just asking you, you know, before you reply all, make sure that the people who are involved there, they really need to be aware of the new conversation or something.
That's a very valid point, Gio. And I checked my email a few weeks ago and realized I get about 1,300, average 1,300 emails a day. Probably at least 3/4 of them are those sorts of things where, you know, there's a balance, right? We need to strike the balance between informing, communicating, and overloading. And, you know, for a lot of people in this company get a lot of emails, and it's, you know, it's great if they're informative, and when you're replying all, and you know, you can change a reply all to just delete out certain people in there too, if you think, well, that's just not going to be anything for them. So I think that's a very valid point. It would really help us probably be more efficient in our day and not spend 99% of our lives in email. But, you know, that is definitely a valid point.
Yeah, perfect. And then, I mean, to bounce off of that too, something we've talked about is just, and Shirley, I know you mentioned this recently, is if you are starting another sort of conversation in an email thread, put a new subject line that pertains to that new conversation or new topic that you're bringing up, because it's not going to make sense to talk about a Belize trade mission in the Argentina shareholder meeting email thread. So just be conscious of what communication is going through where, so that it's relevant to whoever is involved. All right, moving on there, I do want to quickly talk about the syndication of TEAC. We've mentioned this at a few of our meetings now, but we are working and finalizing the business plan that we're going to send to Mauricio, who is our attorney in the States, and he is registering this investment of TEAC into a regulation A+ in the United States, which means it's regulated with the SEC, which is great for us, because what that means is we can very freely talk about projected return on investments, and we can take non-accredited investors while having that discussion with them. So this is a huge deal for the organization. It allows us to bring more people into our network. It also allows us to sell to folks that we haven't been able to sell to before because of the whole SEC and Security and Exchange Commission laws. So be aware of that. When we have that syndication available, or at least the business plan available, I'll send it out to everybody to review. But this is specifically for the phase 2 TEAC in Nicaragua, the 1/10 of a hectare starting at $68.80, and it is going to be a share ownership versus getting title to the property, but we don't need to go into that detail right now, but this is a huge, huge deal. And then lastly on here, I want to talk about Belize ICJ. This is more important, relates more to the sales agents, because you probably will have people ask about the ICJ, the International Court of Justice. On April 10th, Belize was supposed to vote about whether or not they wanted to take to the ICJ this dispute that they've been this border dispute they've been having with Guatemala over the past couple hundreds of years. And this vote was going to say, yes, we take it to the ICJ, or no, we don't take it to the ICJ. So that has been postponed until further notice. We had somebody walk in the office today and ask us about it. So if you do talk to people about Belize, just note that this may pop up at some point. And in the meantime, what I ask you to do is just read up on it. So if you have a client who asks you about it, you become aware of what it's about. And I can send some newspaper articles about it if you haven't heard yet. All right, just some housekeeping items. One, and this is more relevant to you, Shirley and Fredman, but when we update files, and this is really pertaining to discovery tours and trade missions and handbooks and whatever else we update, just update that file in HubSpot under the existing link. And we don't want duplicate or triplicate links of anything. Maybe one was an April flyer, one was a January flyer. Let's just have one link for the discovery tours that is always updated, And no matter when somebody clicks it, they're always going to have the most updated information there. You guys know this, but I saw that it's not happening. So please make sure it is. This is something we've talked about a few times. Say that again,
Sorry.
Shirley.
Can I interject for a second?
Sure.
For the dates on the existing ones, though, what I've been doing, I've been creating like just one last generic one of everything that doesn't have a date. So you might still see some of them changing as far as the URL or as far as the actual link is concerned, because some of them still do have like an old date in them, and because we're trying to get away from the whole date thing on any of them, you might still see some of them getting created new for that. But for the ones that I've been doing, I've been completely taking out a date and making it a generic one, and then so that's kind of why we're just going on at it slowly like that.
And you can rename files as well, so then that way you don't have to create another one, because our sales team, you've seen our HubSpot file document, and that's the file that we use, or that's the link that we use to access the file every single time. So that's the one that needs to stay updated. And just do a quick sweep, Fredman. I know this is true for you in Austin in the affiliate program. Do a quick sweep in the search bar of the files on HubSpot so that you make sure you're getting every single document when you're updating it. This next point is for people who are creating new or editing existing documents. Please make sure you're adding those documents to Dropbox. This is extremely relevant because many of us do work on similar projects or the same projects, or being asked by someone to provide that documentation for them. This just happened last night with the affiliate program, is I couldn't find the April trade mission file in Dropbox, and maybe it was there, maybe it wasn't. Fredman ultimately got it in there, but then nobody could access that file to update it onto the HubSpot links. This is true, Betsy, too, for any of the shareholder meeting stuff that you're coordinating. Get it all in Dropbox so it's there for future use and reference. The next point, everybody should have gotten the email. We have an Escape Artist Conference coming up in Pittsburgh. That'll be June 22nd to 23rd. This is a really easy way for you to invite clients to meet us face-to-face. It's domestic. It's only a couple of days, and it'll be the usual group: Joel, Mike, me, Peter Zipper. So a really good way to have people interacting with us face-to-face, go through questions, and just hear updates about what's going on with our projects. Top 10, I still see that the top 10 leads are not being updated. Some people who have top 10 leads marked as top 10 haven't been communicated since, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago. You can't consider them a top lead if you haven't been dialoguing with them regularly. So please go through your files and update that. This is, and I mentioned this because Alejandro asked, but I don't see him on here. If any of you have a call with people in multiple locations and you're not using GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar, we have a conference call line that you could use. Just send a note out to Smarketing to let us know that you've booked a meeting at whatever time it is. But that's the call-in number right there. So anybody can use it. It's free to use, and this is really good if you're calling in from various locations. And this number is in HubSpot under conference call line, so you can call directly from HubSpot, enter in this ID code, and let me just show you so that you'll find it's very user-friendly. Oops. Conference line, here it is, conference line. And then from here, you just click call, make a phone call, and you can call it directly here. Call from browser. You'll be prompted to enter the ID code, which you do right up here at the keypad, and press pound. So really, really easy to do, and it's all there in HubSpot, and it's free. Thank you, Angela, for updating the sales manual. She's going through them and putting them in similar formats so that no matter what country you're looking at, all of the sales manuals are the same. This is the HubSpot document sales manuals. The next one here is the Vidyard videos, and I sent you all a couple hours ago a PDF document about how to make a good sales video, and it's very, very quick to review. A lot of it is common sense, but things that you should keep in mind when you're making that sales video. And we've talked about this over and over again, but sales videos really do make a big difference, and you'll see that the conversions are much higher. It's easier for you to build trust with the person, and every single one of you has this feature in your email in HubSpot. And I'm going to show it to you where it is so that there's no excuse about not using it. but you go to your email, and then from there you'll see this little insert video, and then what you'll do is select new video, and then camera recording, and I have my camera blocked, but from there you'll record and it'll go directly into the email here. But this is so easy, even if you're just saying, hi, wanted to reach out and see how everything's going, haven't heard from you in a little bit of time, or if you're here in Belize or in Nicaragua, Grand Pacifica, you can show them the beach or the property with your video camera. So really easy to do, creates more of a trust and a connection versus just an email. So please, please, please do that. And I'd like to hear your feedback about how it went next week. And then also something that we had our admin team help us with is videos on how to apostille your legal documents. Now, apostilles are needed when your clients are filling out their power of attorney to get their property titled. And it's a little convoluted. We do have a step-by-step written out directions, but sometimes clients don't really understand. So Daniel from our legal team in Grand Pacifica put together a great video. Betsy's working on hers for Panamatique. But these are really handy resources because you do need to be familiar with this process. You will have clients asking you, and they're about 5 minutes long, but really, really easy. When I send you this PowerPoint, just go through it and listen to it for 5 minutes. Does anybody have any questions on the information on the screen here? Okay. The nicely done this week goes to Angela. Angela has just continued to go above and beyond to help others out with whatever they were doing. She volunteered to go through the handbooks and the HubSpot docs to make sure that everything is in order and makes sense. So big kudos, thank you for doing that. And something else Angela has done is whenever we give her advice or whenever we give the sales team advice during these calls, she takes it. And a couple of examples of those are when she had a couple clients coming down, Penny, Joe, and Greg, and she sent them a list of 7 or 8 blogs. This was a couple days before their trip. She sent them 7 or 8 blogs from our website of what to do, where to eat, great places to try, where to get a massage, et cetera, et cetera. And so that helps them to feel a little bit more connected when they're here. So thank you, Angela, for doing that. I know that you also sent out the Hacienda email campaigns and connecting with your clients there. So very nicely done. Keep up the good work, and we'll get some sales in.
Thank you.
And then the last one here, we don't have any new sales from between last week and now. So that shows us we need to get moving here. Reach out to more customers, try the video. It is going to be awkward at first, but it really creates a rapport with your client, especially if you've never met them before, to help personalize that conversation. Remember, we do also have that Nicaragua teak parcel, the 3-year-old teak that we're offering for $53,860. That's definitely a steal, being that it is already 3 years old. It's planted. They can get title right now. So it's great for that generational wealth stewardship. Everybody should have that information from last week as well. Do we have any questions that we didn't cover during the presentation here, or anything that's been on your mind that perhaps we haven't addressed? All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining. We'll send you the recording as well as the PowerPoint. Please do go through the videos that that Daniel and Betsy made, and also please go through that video PDF I sent you about creating sales videos and sending them out to your clients. And we'll discuss how the videos went next week, so please make sure you send it to at least 10 people in your database who you've been contacting, at least 10 people. I'd like to get feedback about how many people responded and what they said in their response to you. So sales team, affiliate team, 10 videos to send out between now and next Thursday. And with that, anybody have any final questions? All right. Have a really great afternoon, everyone. Thanks for adjusting to the time change here, and happy selling.
Bye. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Bye.